Welcome to the Life and Times podcast. Sit back, enjoy the conversation, enjoy the vibes, and thank you for checking us out. What's going on, Phil?
Oh, not much, man. Just glad to be here. Every day above ground, consider a blessing, and just doing my thing, man. Taking care of my daughter. My
Yeah,
son's
yeah.
grown, but um, just doing that, and she keep me on my toes, and just trying to build my
Amen.
business. You know,
Man,
yeah.
do you remember? It was long ago, y'all. Do you remember our Halloween party?
They don't even do parties like that no
Bruh.
more. Honestly, I mean, seriously, I mean that's one of many stories, but that one in particular was
Yes.
epic. Um, Everybody came
Mm-hmm.
themed. I mean, even
The
Jason killed
Prince.
it
Yeah,
with the
yeah, yeah,
Prince.
yeah.
Yeah. Of course, I had on my
Dr.
Dr.
Feel
Fear and
Good.
stuff like that. Yeah, with the stethoscope and everything. You know what I'm saying? And live up to the name and the
They
girls,
delivered.
they,
They
yes,
delivered.
yes, yes. That was, I mean, we used to do a lot of
And the
great
Christmas
parties
party. We kicked it on the
back then.
Christmas party, bro.
Oh yeah, the
Mm-hmm.
toy for tots. Yeah. I still have that stocking, the
Nice.
extra
Yeah,
large
yeah.
stocking. Yeah, I still, yeah, and that was good. That was for a good cause. So I mean, that was good
Definitely.
as well.
Definitely. All right. Well, yeah, man.
Yeah.
That was always fun. It was always fun to kick it with, coworkers and friends, but to be able to kick it for a good cause, that's even better, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, that was
Cuz
great. That
we
was
got a
great.
whole bunch of
But
toys that
we stuffed that whole
mhm.
stocking up, and that was about a good 5 foot
Mhm.
stocking, and we filled it up. So yeah, everybody showed love, and it was all for good cause. So yeah, it
And
worked out
and I was
great.
Santa Claus. I had my cardigan and my little Santa hat or whatever.
I
You
still got
do?
pictures. I still got all the pictures. I got the pictures. You talking about the Halloween? I got
Yeah.
pictures from that. I still got the pictures from the Toys on Tots. Yeah, um, yeah, because hanging out with you back in the day, you a rock star.
Nah, man.
You know.
We just had to kick it,
You
man.
and you
That-
you and Jägermeister, Ooh.
different days, boy.
I got in trouble that day too.
Really?
Bad trouble. Yeah. 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 Well, I mean, it was, you laugh about it now, but yeah, it was all bad. And for you viewers out there, when you get drunk, take your time getting home. Watch out for them
That's
booty
it.
calls. Because I'm telling you, booty calls will
That's
get you in
it.
trouble.
Every
Yes,
time.
yes. Oh my God.
You
Every
already
time.
giving the people gems before we even officially start. So let me go and get started. Listeners, welcome again to another wonderful episode of the Life and Times podcast, which is short for the Life and Times of a Restaurant Lifer podcast. I'm Adrian. You already know it's no BS coming from me. And for episode 12, we are joined by the talented brother right here, Dr. Phil, Dr. Feel Good, if you will. Talented brother is Mr. Phil, man. Phil, holler at the people, man. How you feeling?
Hey. Blessings to you all out there. Yeah, friends call me Dr. Phil, and honestly, it's not for any sexual undertone. It's actually it was actually given to me back in the day when I first started out bartending because they said my drinks make them feel good, and so just put two and two together. And one of my guests was like, "Yeah, what's up, Dr. Phil? Dr. Phil?" I was like, "Okay," so it just stuck to all these years. Um, and yeah,
That's dope,
this is
man.
it. I love it.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. Let the
yeah.
people know where can they find you, plug the business because you have a wonderful service that I'm gonna
Okay.
definitely I'm definitely gonna pump up. So let the people know.
Okay, so as you see right here, yeah, this is name of my company is called Shake and Not Stirred. I've been in business since 2006. Been bartending for about 25 years, here and there, all different aspects. But now, like probably like in the last 2, maybe 3 years, I just took a leap of faith and invested into my business full time. I mean, I still do stuff here and there, but my business has been my main
Hmm.
focus. I'm featured on Thumbtack, 5-star
Nice.
rated, and I'm featured on Yelp as well. And yeah, I love what I do. I do it with a passion. You can check out my page on Instagram under the same name, Shaken Not Stirred LLC. And so, yeah, you see all some of my past events, some of my clients. Matter of fact, right before I got on this podcast, I was booking 2 clients, booking at the last minute, and I'll get into that later on and everything. But uh, what I mean last minute, like this Saturday, like
Really?
I'm like, are you serious? Yes, this coming Saturday. Yeah, I'm like, but I'll make it happen. They tell me what they want. I do my best to satisfy my clients because it's all about networking, building your brand. The people I send out, I have a crew of 10 bartenders. I have 8 servers. I have bar bags. I have the whole nine. And these are people I handpicked
Nice.
myself through experience working alongside them or just doing different events with them. And I believe in quality over quantity because so of course, like I said, I'm a small business, but you have a lot of these other businesses that I mean, of course, bigger than us, but I'm bigger than
Right.
myself. I'm sorry, but when you, like I said, work with some of these people, and their staff don't have no clue about paying attention to the little things, paying attention to details, how to read a guest, how to upsell, or even just basic knowledge of bartending. Um, and you'll see a lot of these. There's a lot of mobile bartender
Definitely.
services out now,
Definitely.
but it's not a but and I look at some of these services and they don't pay attention to the small detail. Me, I have OCD to the max. It's all about what the guest perspective, what they see, the drinks, being consistent with the drinks. So if I make you a margarita and someone else make you a
It need to
margarita,
be
it's
the
going to be
same.
the same consistency. It's not going to be two different, yeah, two
Right.
different type drinks. Um, and taking advantage of the downtime, making sure that you get everything stocked up, so you're not, playing catch up and stuff like that. And being able to multitask, be able to work clean. One of my pet peeves is working next to someone and they
Right.
work dirty, stuff sloppy, spills everywhere. They got bottles all in. And why you putting bottles in your fresh
Right.
ice, stuff like that. Um, and so it's another thing. And like I said, especially here in Atlanta, it's all about marketing, networking, who because you can have all the experience in the world, but if you don't reach out to the right people or put yourself
Hmm.
out there, no one's going to know who you are. They're not going to know the difference between you and 100 other bartending services out there now. And like I said, you can look at my Thumbtack page now and some of the reviews. That's what I always tell people. Look at my reviews. I let my people
Definitely.
tell speak for. I let my work speak
Definitely.
for itself. And yeah, I mean, I'm booked all the way in 2024, so I'm
That's
blessed.
awesome, man. That's awesome. I'm happy for you.
Yeah,
And
it's great.
folks and listeners,
Yeah,
I can definitely attest personally to the great service and hospitality and the extra mile that Phil and his company they do the good work, man. They took care of myself and my wife and our family and closest friends for our wedding weekend. We had a wedding reception. That was an awesome event. We had a blast. We had fun.
it
Yeah,
was great.
man. And
It
you
was great. And I appreciate you. Yeah, I appreciate you allowing me to, facilitate your service to your guests and stuff. And it also kind of helped, which you didn't mention, your award-winning drink
Oh
that you
yeah,
had as
yeah,
our specialty drink with the bourbon and stuff like that. So that was real good too, and got a lot of
yeah.
compliments on that. So it was good as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're not like yourself. You can mix a little something too. Whenever you put
You
your
know,
mind to it.
I'm a bit
You dabble.
creative. If anything, if we can say anything, I know what I like, so I want to give that to the people.
Right.
And like I said, man, y'all did awesome. I can use a whole podcast just talking about the great experience that you and the young I forgot the young lady who helped you, but you know, Alicia,
Alicia.
she did
Alicia
great.
Edwards, yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
like it was just so fun just hanging out with family and friends and everyone and being able to enjoy
Yeah,
themselves.
that was great. Yeah, yeah, that was great. Having seen a lot of people
Yeah,
from
right, right,
Poconos that I
right.
hadn't seen in years and stuff. So yeah, David and all of them, and it was a great event. I really enjoyed it. I mean, you had a
Yeah,
nice venue. That venue was nice as
definitely.
well too. Yeah. So and I wouldn't even know that was even there. So that was like a little gem in
Right there in the city. Yeah,
the
for sure, for sure.
yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
that was
so
good.
we always like to start the podcast off with something that all of us in hospitality we're known to be really good at. Either you get into hospitality, you already know how to do this, or you quickly learn how to catch up with the rest of us and start to do it. And that's drinking, and more so drinking alcohol. But we've had guests not drink alcohol. It's all good. So our question to you, Phil, is what are you drinking?
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
since you brought that up, I have this new drink
Okay.
called Villain. It's a brandy. This is very good. I highly recommend it. No aftertaste. Like if you drink Hennessy, you have
Right.
that little burn. It is scary
Mm.
smooth. So I just did a art event maybe about 3 weeks ago. And so the client challenged me to make a
Okay.
drink with this. And so the drink I came up with, it's called
Okay.
Bust a Move. Um, that's the PG
Okay.
name for it. So if you think of the TVMA name, that's really what with an N. So, but anyway, um, this is with this, the villain, a little bit of amaretto and
Okay.
pineapple juice. And so, yeah, we went through like 2 cases
Nice.
of this in about 4 hours. That's how popular it was. So that's very good. Then I'm gonna show you one more. Uh, this one, Mercer
Okay.
and Prince. This one is Travis Scott's
Okay.
drink.
Gotcha.
So yeah, and this one is very good as well. And we were making
Okay.
mules with this. So it is made from well, it's Canadian. So we were, making meals with this with a little lime juice and ginger beer. This is
So
also
that's
very good as
Canadian
well. But
whiskey.
it's funny, yeah,
Gotcha.
this is the
Okay.
Canadian whiskey. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. Show you one time. It's called Mercer and Prince.
Heard.
Okay, so that's very good. Yeah. So I was showing you all that. Those are very good. But lately, I myself personally been drinking
Okay.
tequila. I've been mostly a
Okay.
tequila guy lately. Because I don't know if you know, I'm a post-COVID
Mm-hmm.
diabetic. I had caught COVID twice. And so the second time, I guess it with the sugar and stuff like that. So, doctor, like, I know you're a bartender, you're not going to quit alcohol altogether, but the caramel color and the alcohol is will spike
Mm-hmm.
your sugar. So drink something white. And I'm not really a big fan of vodka. So I, went
Mm.
to tequila. And the tequila that I highly recommend, which is my personal favorite, is,
Okay.
Terramana, uh,
Yeah.
Dwayne
Yeah.
Dwayne
Yeah.
Johnson's tequila. It is very good. It goes down smooth. I had it last year when I was in South Beach for my birthday, and you don't need any ice. You don't need no mixer, no nothing. You can just drink it straight
Okay.
from the bottle, and that's telling a lot because most tequila has
For
has like a
sure.
little burn to it. So, but that particular tequila is, I swear to it to this day. Teremana is very good. Casamigo, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Those are
everybody's
overrated.
on
Just saying for someone
Casamigos. Yeah.
yeah, Casamigos,
Right.
Don Julio, and all that. No, before they catch up on, I'm telling you, Terramana, and it's cheap
Okay.
at the store. I think for the same bottle, like a 750 is like 20 $25, as opposed to if you go to Casamigos, it's almost
Right.
35 $40. So, and I'm telling you, it
Okay.
is good. So that, and then I want to show you one more
Yeah.
thing. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Let me get up right here. So I don't know what to do with this, Adrian. I've been sitting on this for about 20, 30 years.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, it has the worm in it.
Oh
I
shit.
don't know if you can see it.
Yeah, I see it.
It
Yeah.
still has the worm in it. Yeah. So, and I'm thinking about drinking it for my birthday.
Why not, man?
I don't know. Yeah, okay, so let me tell you a little story that I worked at Lakewood a couple of days ago for
Okay.
Matchbox 20, right? Very good. And I work at Lakewood too, so yeah, if you ever Lakewood, come holler at your boy and let me know, take good care of you. Best drinks. But anyway, one of the guys that worked there, he's like a connoisseur of
Okay.
tequila, whatever, right? So he was saying, don't eat the worm
Mm-hmm.
by itself. 'Cause he said you will hallucinate. Cause he said, and that's after 10 years. He said 30 years. He said, yeah, that's probably something you only want to drink out in public, right? So he said, just put it in a blender and
Okay.
mix it. And then one of the other guy friends was making a joke talking about, oh yeah, let's do like Russian roulette or something, like put it one person, whoever follow gotta drink it. I said, oh, y'all trying to kill somebody. So yeah, he's saying blend it. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna blend it because I don't think, oh, this hairy too. I don't know if I just want to, eat that by itself,
Yeah, you
man. I
may
don't
have to
know.
blend that
But
guy,
pray for
man.
me though, because yeah. 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 So yeah, I've been sitting on that for years. But anyway, but yeah, tequila is my drink of choice. Yeah, so I make all kind of drinks with that. The mule flavored margaritas, palomas, shoot, you name it. I do tequila, mojitos, whatever you want with it. So yeah, that's
Nice,
that's me.
nice. Okay, okay. See, that's why I like to invite bartenders to the podcast because y'all normally put us on game to a lot of, different alcohol, like different options or different cocktails, that sort of thing. So, all right, you put us
Yeah,
on game
I
on
mean,
a good number of things.
I've been doing this for a long time, man, and I still feel like I'm a student, because there's constantly new alcohols coming out, and I'm self-taught. I never went to
Really?
school.
Yeah, yeah. I meant yeah, bartending
Yeah,
school. Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, we can talk about that
yeah.
like for real, ladies and gentlemen. Let me go ahead and put this out there. If the bartender says he or she went to bartending school, they are probably ass. They probably suck. Like
Mm.
I'm gonna keep it, Phil. I'm gonna keep it
Okay.
real, man. I'm gonna keep it real. If they said they went to bartending school, they probably stink. They probably stink.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna expound on that a little bit more. Me personally, like if someone came to me, like okay, and I will say that working during different events and stuff like that, because I do have contracts with different
Right.
companies and everything, and I constantly get people asking me about working with me, and then the first thing I ask them is what
Mm-hmm.
experience do they have, and if they tell me they went to bartending school. No. And the only reason why I say that, um, because in the school you learn, yeah, you learn the basics. You're in a classroom setting, and you're learning, about different drinks, but you don't have that real
Right.
world problem solving, situation, how to multitask, how to
Right.
prioritize, um, reading the gas, knowing the rules of intoxication, uh, knowing how to cut
Right.
people off. Because there's a difference in just cutting them off and how you cut them off, because They can go from a simple situation turning
To this
around and
being
they
a
cool
big
to
issue.
they trying to jump over the bar. Yeah, they trying to jump over the bar, trying to fight you and all that stuff. And I've seen that too many times where, bartender, be, you know, 200 or 300 people, they all at the bar, you 5 rows deep, and the one person that pissed you off, and then now you all, get anxiety and it takes
Right.
you out your game and stuff like that. So you got to know how to do that, how to deal with that. And the best way I tell people to learn how to bartend is to work in a restaurant or work
Definitely.
at a bar that has, that has like different liquors. The way I learned is back in the day, in the underground, used to place called
I
Mix.
remember Mix. I remember
Okay,
Mix.
so
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Mix it underground. Yeah, yeah. And back then, Mix used to be formal, fancy, and all that. Eventually it went
hmm
downhill. But
That's probably when I was
that's
walking in
basically.
there when it went down. I was probably part of that rough
You still
crowd.
be
Yeah.
suited up. It was crazy. Yeah, you had good, it ran its course, but it used to be bomb. I got stories about that too, but that's for another time. But anyway, I kept picking the bartender's brain, the service bartender, about different drinks, knowing the basics, about different drinks. And then after a while, the bartender
Mm.
called in sick and they asked me to fill in. And that's basically how I
Okay.
got my shot. And yeah, I was a little rough around the edges, but like I said, being in that environment, it helped me with my speed. It helped me, about different drinks, the technical name of different drinks, because you'd be amazed, like even now to this day, you get bars that want to just hire girls
Right.
just because
For
they
sure.
pretty. Okay, that's fine. I get it. I mean, I have pretty bartenders that
Definitely.
work with me too. But every bartender that works with me know they know their shit. They know the technical
Right.
name of drinks. Say for instance, vodka pineapple cranberry is
Right.
called the Bay Breeze. They don't know that. Or vodka cranberry is called the Cape Cod.
Right.
Those are simple drinks because you're not gonna be doing just urban events. You're
For
doing
sure.
corporate events, and you have your non melanated people that's going to ask you for a
hmm
gimlet. They're going to ask you for a Tom Collins. They're going to ask you for a technical name of drinks, and if you don't know, you're going to be looking stupid. And so some of the stuff you don't really learn that in
Right.
school. Yeah, you there for a couple of weeks. I mean, like I seen a friend, she's doing a class, and she talking about a 2 week course. I said, how much do you think you can learn as bartending in two
hmm
weeks? Myself personally, because I teach bartending too. I tell them right off the rip, it's going to be at least
You
four
would
to six
think.
weeks,
Yeah.
and that's just basic bartending,
Right.
and that's just the basics. Because I don't cut the corners. I teach you all about the different liquors, the history of the liquors, the glassware that we use, the equipment that we use, sanitation, being served safe, knowing about the dram shop laws, you know what I'm saying? And then that's even before you
Right.
even touch a bottle. You know what I'm
That's the
saying?
right
And so,
way.
how to do pour counts and all that stuff. Yeah, and I mean it's important to learn because if you're doing okay, so what I call myself now is like a concierge bartender because mainly that's all I do is
hmm
private events. I don't do the bar scene. I've been there, done that. Went through all that, but you have to know how to pour for a guest. Give you an example with a Long Island. Most bartenders think you pour a Long Island, it's supposed to be strong. No, it's supposed to taste
Right.
like a tea. The science of it is you want to get is repetition. You want to get that guest to
Right.
come back to you. And if you got to think about it, you make that drink too strong,
They'll ride on that one
they're gonna be
drink.
sipping on it. Yeah, all night. So you're not
Right.
making no money off that. You got to make the drink, yeah, it's strong, but you got to make it
It's
where
balance.
is
Right.
drinkable, tastes good, is balanced. Where the more time they come back to you, the more the opportunity of money you have to make.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's more of a science thing. And then, like I said, that you don't learn
That's
that in
right.
class.
That's right. And I'm not saying that every kid that comes to me and says that they went to bartending school they suck. I'm not saying that, but chances are they probably stink. So I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm just gonna put that out there, man.
Yeah, I've worked with some people. They say they went to school and
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, they ask because I be asking them simple stuff. Like what's neat?
hmm
Can I get a vodka neat? And like neat, what is neat? Or I ask them uh give me the strainer. The strainer. I'm like, do you don't even know what a strainer? I asked one girl the strainer. She didn't know what a strainer was. She just used the bottom of her glass that she had sitting on top of her counter, put it inside her shake tin and use that as a strainer. I said, no,
Oh
that's not
my
your strainer,
God.
baby. No, I said anything. I said you putting germs on somebody's drink when you're using the back of your glass to strain into inside of another drink. So yeah, yeah. But like I said, and then like I said, nowadays, there's a lot of mobile bartending service,
Hmm.
popping up. And what I've noticed, I've been reading some of the comments is one punctuality. They be coming in hour, 2 hours, or almost when the event's about to start, which I don't understand. Um, they're not dressed appropriately.
Okay.
You know, you can't wear tights and yoga pants to every event and think that's okay. Three, they bringing their kids.
What? To private
Yeah,
events?
hell yeah, had a lady. Yeah, yeah, had a lady. Brought her daughter, and the daughter was licking or sticking her tongue out to the
Oh
guest.
Lord.
Why, yeah. Oh, and then the most famous one is almost like one of my pet peeves, unless it's emergency, people being on their
Yeah.
phone.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, how many times you come up to the bar, and I know me, I try not to be a diva when
Right.
I go out. But, us as bartenders, we know what we like to drink. We know, what we want and stuff like that, how things supposed to taste or whatever. And then we observing, we're watching the people at the
Right.
bar and everything. And it's too many times I go to the bar, for one, the bartender don't even acknowledge you. I understand you're busy. I get it. One thing I don't do is tell someone, yeah, I'm a bartender. What that's supposed I don't care if you tell me you're a
Yeah.
bartender. So
Right.
what? You know what I'm saying? That
Right.
doesn't change anything. But when I go out, at least acknowledge me. At least say, hey, I'll get to you in just a minute. Put
Right.
down the napkin, or something. Leave me. Let me know.
For sure.
I exist. But yeah, they don't even do that. Or half the time, like I said, they're on their phone. They trying to do their little TikToks, trying to be content. Trying to get their content or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what happened to the guest being, a priority? You know, and a lot of kids nowadays, they don't care. They don't care because they're like, okay, as soon as I leave the job, I can get
Yeah.
something else.
I
So
I know that I know that I posted something like that like a few years ago. I was like, the bartender game is in the dumps. I was like, that shit's in the dumps. And
the passion
at
is
the
not there no
time, I
more.
was like, I blame COVID, but you know, I meant, yeah, it was like a lot of people in positions that they shouldn't be in at all, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Well, it is. Well, even to this day, I will give you some of that. Yeah, as far as like with the COVID, because people being tied up for so long, and even like with kids, they lost their
for
people
sure,
skills. Same thing
for
with
sure,
adults too. They've lost it. There's no uh what's say sense of
right,
urgency. They get busy. They just stuck
right,
on one level. They just stuck in one when they
right,
should be in five. Because if the money is there, I'm moving. You know what I'm saying? Especially if I'm in a short period of time, I'm
definitely,
trying to get it. Because you know what I'm saying? Because once it's over, it's over. Then you wondering why you only made 40,
right,
$50 and I'm walking
right.
out with 250. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to be engaging. You got to have a personality. But you see a lot of these, they don't care. They do not care at all. And then like I said, and the drink sucks. So on top of that, I'm like, no, you horrible at guest service. And then your drink is horrible as well. So that's a
At
double
least
whammy.
have a
You
good
know what I'm saying?
conversation. Like you can serve me a trash drink as long as you cool. Like if you have a cool conversation, I'll at least force my way through the drink and just continue to engage. But if you serve
Right,
me
right.
some
But if you
bullshit
nonchalant,
and
yeah.
you have and you're not and you're dry as a saltine, it's like, man, come on, man. Why did we even choose this place?
Right, right. I feel you on that. Because yeah, I've I worked a couple of places, and they already had their own bartenders, but they brought me in like as an extra,
Hmm.
whatever. And in that particular moment, like hour in, I'm end up training these other bartenders because I'm like, you don't even know how to make a bar barley. You know that I'm showing you how to make you don't know how to make a Long Beach tea or whatever. And I'm like, really? This is what we doing now? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, and you supposed to be the head bartender? I'm like, yeah, you got boobs, yeah, you got butt and all that stuff, but if you don't have the substance to go with it,
That's
it's
a
kind of
fact.
pointless, you know?
That's a fact.
It is kind of pointless.
Tell us about your first job in hospitality.
First job. Okay, so my first server gig was Denny's in
Okay.
Chicago. With Denny's in Chicago, and I had no idea as far as how to serve, um, how to multitask, or anything like that. This white lady, bless her soul, she showed me. No, I mean, she was
Mm,
phenomenal because she would have. I was amazed. She would have like six booths. So if you ever been to Denny's, you know they have
right.
those
You could
booths
fit like
in the
12
back.
people in them
She
joints. Yeah.
she would run the whole back section
Mm,
by herself, and would be phenomenal with it. And she was just basically like, the key was to be preemptive. Like, if they order in pancakes, they already put the syrup down, already put the butter down, already put the napkins down. They order in drinks, go ahead and put the straws down. Stuff that the guests want. They don't have to keep asking you or, trying to get your attention to put stuff down. You put it down in
right.
advance, you're good. And so they save you a couple of steps. And so I took that whole mindset approach to this day, like even when I'm working around behind the bar. So like when I do my private events, I go in, hour, sometimes 2 hours in advance, depending on what all I have to make. I make sure I'm already fully stocked, cups, napkins, ice, everything. Um, and then when it started getting busy, I'm like a traffic cop, you know. You even if you just like lightly point to a person, say, "Hey, I got you. I see you. I'll be right with you in just a minute." Boom, that take care of that person and good. Instead of you so focused on one person, you forgetting about the whole other end of the bar. And at one point, like say for instance, I used to work at a spot called 595 North. They used to put me in the
Okay.
pit. The pit was like right by the bathroom and the main door.
That's
Busiest
crazy.
spot
Yeah.
because you get all this foot traffic going by, right? They used to let me run it by myself because basically I was like a typewriter. I was just going back and forth, like this back and forth, back and forth. And just building up your speed. After you get comfortable with what you're doing, you get faster at it. Had to make multiple drinks at one time, not just making one drink at a time. Making multiple drinks inside of your shake tin, so you can go
Right.
ahead and pour it, ahead of time. There's different strategies you can use to help speed up the process. Like I said, how to multitask. They doing tabs, how to take care of the tabs, all that stuff. So you can be efficient in what you're doing. So making every step count. You're not wasting time looking for a bottle. You know where everything is. You know where your beer is. You know where your mixes are. Your mixes are full. Your pour spouts. A lot of people don't even
Mm,
think about this. Your pour spouts should always be pointing, in the same direction. If you're left-handed, they should be pointing to
right.
your, I
Right.
mean,
Right.
to your
Right.
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 If you're right-handed, it should be pointing to your left. You know what I'm saying? So that way you're not wasting time, because if you got it pointed the wrong way, your liquor is not coming out, flowing out
Right.
like it should. And you wasting time, shaking the bottle, trying to get the bottle when if you have it already poured the right way, as soon as you grab the bottle the proper way and you pour it, it's already
Mm,
coming out. You save yourself a few seconds. So it's a few things, that you can do to help yourself, that can help you be efficient when you're
see
working.
that's something that separates those of us that are really really good at our jobs than to everyone else, which is those little points of efficiency. Like with when it
Yeah.
comes to working behind the bar or working in the kitchen for that matter, every second literally counts. So if you can do something that can cut a quarter of a second away from the next person, then
Yeah.
that's the difference. So I do like that. I feel that.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it makes all the difference.
My final question, as we're setting the table, do you feel that every person should have at least one job in the hospitality industry, and more importantly, why?
Yes. Yes. I believe every person should have experience at least one time. And um, if it's not full service, I don't care. Working at McDonald's, I'm saying, what I'm saying that to say is, because it teaches you
Okay.
patience. It teaches you how to, deal with different situations, and it helps you be a
For
people
sure.
person because you constantly going to have different personalities approach you all the time. If you're a male, a lot of times, I'm sorry, we get slacks from other males, and with being a female, you definitely get slack from other females, especially if you're a pretty female and she's out with her dude or whatever, and and the slightest thing gonna set her off. He paying you too much attention, whatever, and turn that around and let her know, look, hey, it's good, cool, and seeing that once that person realized, hey, I'm just here to do
Right.
my job. I don't want your
Right. Right.
spouse or whatever, and I'm still going to give you the best service. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm going to upgrade that service. If you want a vodka, I'm going to try to sell you on the most expensive
Mm-hmm.
vodka. You know what I'm saying? Because for me personally, I don't drink well liquor because it gives you a headache and everything, next day. So cheaper is not better. Those $2 drinks, whatever that you're talking about, don't do it. Those cheap little drinks at Applebee's and everything with those whatever that little cheap
Mm-hmm.
margaritas, don't do it. That pre-made Long Island that every time all special and everything, that's why it's special because it's gonna be special in your gut as you drink
Man.
it. So, but back to back on subject. Yes, the hospitality industry, I highly recommend anyone. Then you will understand, going into it, what we go through, as far as the server experience, because it's a lot,
Definitely.
dealing with people, dealing with other coworkers, dealing with management, dealing with other cooks, how to course your food and stuff like that. Having knowledge about your food, having knowledge about the drinks, because every different spot you go to, they got their own
Definitely.
specialty drinks. That's what I was saying. As far as like, if you want to learn to bartend, go to somewhere that have a bar because they're gonna teach you. That's almost like free knowledge. They're gonna teach you anyway about their drink. Even if you go in as a
Mm-hmm.
server, they're gonna teach you about the different drinks, their specialty drinks. They're gonna, of course, they're gonna go over the whole menu. And then as you working there, and of course you're dealing with people that's gonna order different drinks, take the time to learn what's
Mm-hmm.
in it. You know, after you learn what's in it, then you can start learning about percentages. Half of this, one and one
Mm-hmm.
fourth of this. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what separates a bartender from, is it say, mixologist or
Mm.
whatever. Bartender is just tending the bar to take care of people. Mixologist takes passion in what he does to make certain drinks to make it taste a certain way and be consistent with those
Mm.
drinks.
I like that. Okay. So let's talk more about the mixology part of it because you've been in the industry, you've been in the game for a while, and you went out and made the leap on faith, or you took a leap out on faith uh, to start your own business. And you've been operating. You've told us before you've been operating for a while now, and now I mean you're killing it. You have a staff. You've built it. You built it from the ground up. So, Phil, I want to know like what pushed you to go into business for yourself.
Being burnt out working for
Okay,
other people. I'm just gonna keep it 100. You and I, we worked together at Papados. Loved it to death. Love the food to this day.
for
Still
sure.
go up there, love it and everything. But eventually I just got burnt out. And it's just like any other restaurant I've worked at. Um, when you pull up, and I would say to some people, when you pull up to a job in the parking lot and you making excuses not to
Mm,
be there, that's when you know it's
mm,
time for you to go. And for years and years doing that, because I've done full service, did fine dining, I've done the whole spectrum. And so I think what I love now about what I do now, is that I make my own schedule. I have more time to spend with my daughter, with her, being involved with
mm-hmm.
her. Daddy's being in your daughter's life. I'm telling you, it's the most important thing. I'm telling you,
No
be in your
doubt.
daughter's life. And that freedom. And I like what I do now because I'm never in the same spot
Mm,
twice, unless I'm doing like a corporate event. But I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere from Alpharetta to Cartersville. Last week I was in Anderson, South Carolina, Florida. I
Nice.
travel everywhere. So, it's exciting because, like I said, I'm in different places. I'm doing different things. I'm meeting different people. And what happened was, I guess one day I was, I tell you
Mm-hmm.
what happened. I was working at Truist Park, and this was like right after
Mm-hmm.
COVID. And I was like, okay, I'm doing all this working, but I'm not making the money that I should. Yeah, he's like, okay, you work at the ballpark, but there's a lot of politics too involved with it. It's within the job,
For
the
sure.
politics, whatever. And so, you know, I'm trying to balance that and my job, but um it came to became being a conflict, of interest, whatever, because they gave me an app where I can schedule days off, but I abused it because I was scheduling like every other weekend off, every weekend off because, I wanted to do
For
my
sure.
own stuff. And then, of course, if you know anything about working for the Braves, you got to work sometimes 8 to 10 days in a
Yep.
row. And I couldn't do that. So I knew I had um, the contacts because I'm being in business, you meet a lot
Sure.
of people. And then one day I just said, look, I'm just going to take a leap of faith and invest in myself and do the necessary requirements and, get the necessary contracts and get the right people, in place, whatever. And I could honestly say that it's been a blessing. Like I said, it's been about 2, almost 3 years now that I've fully like invested
Right.
into myself. I mean, yeah, like I said, I've been in business since 2006, but I was doing it off and on because I was busy, being on
Mm-hmm.
everybody else's clock. So now I'm on my own clock. I'm my own boss. I get up when I want to. I do what I want to. I schedule what I want to. You know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing. You just have to be able to say, I'm willing to fail in order to make it.
Mm.
You're gonna, you're gonna have those times where you have those slow days and not as busy days, but you gotta trust and believe in yourself that you can pull yourself out of that. You can continue to network and market yourself, and then let your service, and in my case, my drinks speak for themselves. So um, I don't have a website, and on like I said, on that, like I'm on Yelp, I'm on Instagram, and I'm on Thumbtack, and I let all that, I market through those, and it speaks for itself. A lot of time, it's all word of mouth. Guests like you, they talk about you to their friends, and then their friends, and a lot of times with me, friends end up
Right.
booking you, and then I go over to their friends, and I meet their other friends, and end up getting booked that way. So 90% of my business is
Word of
through
mouth. Yeah,
networking
for sure.
yeah, word of mouth, and through referrals. And when people see you and how professional you are and engaging you are and how consistent you are, they yeah, I mean, they say they like you and they keep booking you. So it's been great. Matter of fact, in a couple of weeks, I'll be on, if you know anything about Sherry Hill. She's the number one prom dress designer in
Okay.
America. One of her models just got named Miss Texas. She's about to go to Miss
Nice.
America. But I handle her food and beverage. I do it twice a year. So this is the summer market that's coming up from July 30th through August 2nd, and it's free drinks if you can get in this American Bar building. Food is top notch. Models from all around the world modeling all the lovely prom dresses and
Mm.
cotillion dresses and whatever, and it's a great event. And so that I have her twice a year. She's one of my contacts, and I have several too. But it's basically been just because they see how I operate and how I do things and how I take care of the little things, and I take care of the client too, and I'm passionate about
Mm.
what I do. So you definitely have to like what you do. They say as long as you do something that you enjoy, it doesn't
Right.
feel like work. It doesn't
Okay.
for me because I mean when I go in, it comes simple, and I enjoy it.
Okay.
So yeah.
So okay, so when you're starting a business or you're again, we're constantly talking about taking a leap out on faith. Like that's a scary thing. That's a very scary thing.
Yeah,
So
it is. It is.
so what's your advice for someone who any of the listeners that they want to start their own business? It could deal with food, it could be anything in the world. Like, what's your advice to that person who wants to step out and say, "Hey, I want to do this
Okay.
thing"?
Okay. Well, first, um, pray on
Okay.
it. Pray on it. The second thing, in the technical terms, come up with a name. Because you have to have a name that no one else has. um, to get it, LLC. Get your LLC, get your EIN
Mm,
number, stuff like that. That's the number one thing. Get become get yourself official on
okay.
paper. You have a lot of these that I was talking about. I mean, places, companies that have their mobile service, they're not
Mm,
official. Just naming something. But one, you don't want to be audited by Uncle Sam. You want to make sure that you have your chips in order. So yes, definitely get your LLC, get your EIN, because everything is a write off once you get that LLC. This phone that we're that I'm talking on right now,
this is a business call
your
right now.
clothes, your gas. Yeah, 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 yeah. Right. That's something. Everything,
Right.
everything is a write off. Everything. Um, know your craft. You have to know the ins and out of it, the legal aspects of it, all that, because you don't want to get caught up or get sued or anything like that. You want to have your chips in order. Like me, even though I'm late to the game, I recently got myself insured. It's always good. You're like, well,
Nah,
yeah,
you want to make
it's so
sure.
much, but
Yeah,
trust me,
you have
yeah, because
employees.
it's
You
like,
definitely need to be insured.
oh yeah, 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 workman's comp and all
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah, knock on
Yeah.
wood,
Yeah.
nothing's
Yeah.
happened, but you definitely want to, make sure you have everything in order. Get you a logo that that's specific to you. Get you business cards. But yeah, get you
Okay.
some business cards that will help promote your business. Get QR codes. I know everybody just not getting on QR codes, but I've been doing this for about 2 3
Okay.
years now. Get QR codes, especially like if you're in the mobile service, that it has your company name on it, has like I accept all forms of payment. I even have a Square reader, but I got Zelle, I got Venmo, I got Cash App. I do invoices. Make sure you're able to cover all that as far as payment, even if it's not a bar service. If you're selling clothing, if you're selling
Right.
whatever you're selling, make sure that you're able to accept all forms of payment, and that way you also have a paper trail also at the end of the year, and get you an accountant. Not no
That's
H&R Block, not no Jackson Hewitt, nothing like that. Get you a certified accountant that knows the
mm,
tax laws. That's most important, especially if you have kids. Yeah, you get your earned income credit, but if you have a business, they have what they call a Schedule C, and that's where you write everything
okay.
off. I mean, if I could write off my underwear, I write that off too. But I'm saying that the Schedule C is everything. I mean, because that's basically showing the expenses that you paid for your
Okay.
business.
See that's
You
a
know what I'm
that's
saying?
a
So you want
big
to make sure
that's
you.
a big that's a gem for sure. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I understand. When I found out about the Schedule C, and just having your LLC, you want to make sure that you're using it and not just sitting there, because if you're legit, you have to register
Right.
every year. You have to do an annual registration and everything. So but definitely get you an accountant that, like I say, that knows the tax laws, that know all the loopholes, that can get you the maximum your money back, because you're gonna want it, because all this money that you invest into your business. Like for me, I'm buying t-shirts, I'm buying cards, I'm buying
Right.
stanchions, whatever. I'm buying runners and all that stuff. All that stuff
Definitely.
adds up, so you want to be able to recoup all that money at the end of the year. So
Okay.
definitely.
Okay. See, I mean, listeners, you're getting gems right now. You're getting high quality gems. Y'all should be paying Phil or paying me to get this kind of business advice. So, all right. So, Phil, let's go ahead. We're gonna contribute to the podcast. So, um, we have a question from last week's guest. You actually know her. I'll tell you afterwards who she was, but she has a question for you. And after you answer this question, you have to leave a question for next week's guest. So, are you ready for this? All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
cool,
Let's do
cool,
it. Let's
cool.
do it.
So, Jana was last week's guest, so shout out Chef Jana.
Chef Johnny, yeah.
That's the homie.
Oh
Yeah.
boy, I'm all kind of scared of
Right,
this one.
right,
Oh
right.
boy,
No,
okay.
she kept it. I mean, actually, I was surprised with the decorum brought with this question, but her question to you, Phil, is: do you feel, or what is your opinion when it comes to separating church and state for our country? And do you feel as though we would have done better by actually separating church and state?
I think that's where we messed up when we separated church from state because um well, I guess we old school. So back in the day, we used to have
Mm,
prayer in school. And I understand there's different religions and stuff like that. Um, and I believe that everyone should be able to practice their religion. But when it comes to separating it from that in school, and I'm not saying like pressing upon anyone else, your religion on them, but I believe that when you take God out
mm,
of school, that's why we having all these problems now with shootings and kids acting out and stuff like that. You see all these videos where the kids is fighting the teacher and all this stuff. And I think that at least if not, and I'm not saying like having Bible study and nothing like that, but I'm saying at least acknowledging the for me, and you atheist, that's on you. I'm not pressing my
right.
religion on anyone else, but I believe that giving thanks to Him upstairs, um, that we wouldn't have we wouldn't have these issues. We wouldn't have like half the issues that we had because I think that when you give thanks and you acknowledge, where you've come from and the blessings and the things that that's been bestowed on your life and where you come from and the things that that's been the doors that's been open and stuff like that. And it's only one person that's responsible for that. And I think I think like if they acknowledge that in school and keeping the focus on him, that yeah, I think that it wouldn't be as much
Mm,
hostility, especially after COVID, because even like with my own daughter, it took her a while to adapt being away from school, because like from her, she was like going from preschool to kindergarten. That was a whole big
mm-hmm.
jump for her, from dealing with like little kids and then being in a structured environment, working on a laptop and then going back to a structured environment. It took a lot from her, and and a lot of times, had to, talk to her and everything as far as like dealing with her feelings, dealing with her emotions, acting out and stuff like that. And we prayed
Mm,
on it, and she's done a whole 360, I say 360, 180, in her own mentality. She's smart, intelligent. We pray every night. We give thanks every night. And then she says about what goes on her day in school and stuff like that. And I believe, like I said, some of these kids, some of these schools, you can tell like with some of these kids that they lack in structure, or they lack in their religion and their acknowledgement of giving
mm,
thanks. And they just wilding. They just don't care. That's what maybe I was saying earlier. Like these kids now, they
mm.
just don't care. These kill boys and all this mess. You know what I'm saying? Because they have no guidance, no structure, no parents. And I feel sorry
Definitely.
for them, but it's not too late to try to save them. But they just need I think, like I said, I think it starts, of course it starts at home, and then when they get to school, to have a ground foundation to begin with, to acknowledge that we're blessed, giving thanks to, with our religion, Catholic, Muslim, whatever, but, to have that balance, so I was disappointed they separated church and state, but I would be all
Mm.
for it.
So you feel as though it's a good foundation for us to, I mean, when it comes to developing young people or people in general, like you feel as though religion is a good foundation.
Yes, and I guess like with me, because I was
Right, right,
raised in
right.
church. I was a choir, choir boy. Can't sing a lick, but yeah, my mom is a missionary, and is I believe, like I said, prayer changes everything, and I know with myself, just from giving him thanks, that to this day I feel like I'm truly, truly blessed. That um no drama, no baby mama drama, no life drama, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? That my business is doing well, and everything. I'm saying I think I'm in a good space, and I believe that has everything to do with um that man upstairs, our
I
God. So
feel
yeah,
that.
I
Okay,
believe so. Yes,
okay. That's a
yes.
good answer. What's your question for next week's guest?
I'm challenging the next entrepreneur that instead of saying I want to do it, I want to do it. What's stopping you from
Mm,
doing it? And what do you think you should be doing in order to elevate yourself? To be an entrepreneur, and not because a lot of people out here, they want to be entrepreneurs. They want but they're afraid to let go of their nine to
right.
five. So you know um what do you think you want to do, or what steps do you think you need to take as far as elevating your business, and why haven't you done
Okay.
it?
All right. See, that part is the the big question. Like, why haven't you done it? Like, we all have
Hmm.
answers as to, oh, this is what I want to do. These are the steps that I'm going to take. But when it's all said and done, like, screw all that. Why haven't you done it?
Why
That's
haven't you done it?
that's the
Why haven't you
question.
done it?
Okay, so I
That's why I asked myself, like, why you? I asked myself, and then one day I just said, I'm just gonna do it. For
yeah
me,
yeah
I
yeah.
said I'm just gonna do it, and yeah, you just have to, yeah, basically have to take that leap of faith. For me, like I said, each person is
Definitely.
different, but I know that, I wasn't going to continue burning myself out, um,
For somebody else.
working these
For
nowhere kid
someone else
jobs
to
out.
get a
Yeah.
check.
Yeah.
Nah,
Basically.
you
Yeah. Yeah. Cause as soon as you, get sick, or heaven forbid you pass on, they're going to be looking at for the next individual to take
dude.
your place.
Now that you say that, I'm gonna say this quickly. I'm gonna give you and the listeners a quick little story of one of the companies that I did work for at one point. But one of my assistant, and now listeners, just a little background. I've run restaurants for quite some time now, um, and at a high level. I was fortunate, took advantage of some opportunities, that sort of thing. But at one point, one restaurant in particular, one of my assistant managers, one of the managers that worked under my leadership, he was an older dude. Like, he was older than my dad. So in my opinion, in my vision, and all that, he was an old dude. You know what I'm saying? And he was a good guy, really good guy. He was an awesome person, actually. He was an awesome human being. He himself worked in restaurants for quite some time, very knowledgeable. Like, I should have been working for him in most fashions, but not in this circumstance. This older white dude was working for me, like that sort of thing, right? So I didn't realize that he had health problems, and he was working for me, and the company I was working for, we owned multiple restaurants. And sometimes, because they were so terrible about handling management, they would always need managers to fill in certain gaps. And they would always reach out to us who were actually staff to say, like, hey, we have this shift available. Can you ask one of your assistants to work it? That sort of thing. We'll pay them some extra on the side. Now, this older gentleman, he would do that ever so often, to just for extra money, and it made sense. I never did it. I made enough. I was like, I'm working 70 something hours for y'all now. I don't. I don't want to do that shit anymore. You know that, but uh, he would fill in ever so often. So there was one time in particular he closed my restaurant and then went to the other restaurant to close because they closed later than us. And he was supposed to come work for me the next day and didn't show up, and which was completely weird. I didn't expect it, that sort of thing. It was out of nowhere. It wasn't until later that evening, because I came in on my off day to work his shift just to make sure things are going good. And I was like, he didn't give me any signs of him quitting or anything like that. Like, I'm hoping he's okay. His sister calls me and tells me that the dude, after leaving the other place, he went to Waffle House and had a heart attack because he already had a pacemaker, but it malfunctioned or something to that effect, and he had a heart attack right there at Waffle House, and he's right now at a emergency room or something. So of course I'm like, well, thank you for calling. Is he okay? Like, my thoughts, my initial emotions, feelings, and all of that are, is he okay? And she tells me he's okay, and he'll check in with me, da da da. But this dude's in an emergency room. So I call my boss, the director of operations. The director of operations, his first thing he tells me, Phil, has he told you when he's coming out and can he work this date, this date, this date? That
Are
that
you serious?
no bullshit. God strike me down. That was his response.
They don't
They
care about you.
they
Employees do not
don't
care.
care. So
They don't care about their bottom line.
listeners, I mean, I'm not. I fuck it. I don't care. It's my podcast. Whatever. The people that you're working for, 9 times out of 10, they don't care about you. If you drop down and die, they'll figure it out the next day.
Yep, be on monster.com, monster indeed, looking through applications.
And after that happened to him, like, I feel like I just went into father mode or something. I coddled the hell out of him and was like, "Hey man, I'm just putting you on these shifts." And like, I almost feel as though I was scheduling him like unfairly to the other managers, because I was like, I'm not gonna schedule this dude when we actually need managers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just like, he's
Right,
gonna work the cush shifts. We can brunt the rest of it. But it was a whole
right.
mess.
But
Yeah.
that's crazy. That's crazy. Why he in the hospital? They worrying about when next time he
It
come in to work.
wasn't, is he okay? What's going on?
None of that.
It was, hey, when is he coming back to work? And even more so, can he work in addition to what he's already working for you? Can he work these dates at this other restaurant?
That's wild. That's wild.
Such as the
That's crazy.
hospitality industry.
Right. Yeah. They just worrying about who can cover their shifts so they can make their
That's
quotas.
it. That's it. All right,
Wow.
but also, Phil, we have another thing that we always ask of our guests, which is adding 2 songs to the Life and Times playlist. Listeners, go on Spotify, look it up, the Life and Times playlist. It is a curation of great songs, moods, vibes from the host Adrian and our weekly guests. So, Phil, what 2 songs are you adding to our playlist? And you
Okay, so
from Chicago, so I know you gotta
Right,
add
right,
something
right,
good.
right, 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 right. Well, okay, like you said, yes, I'm from Chicago. I grew up on
Okay,
house music.
get it.
You know,
Put us
born
on.
and
Put us
raised.
on.
You know, stepping classics and stuff like that. But okay, but I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna give. I'm multi
Right.
cultural and everything. I like different music. So, what I've been listening to lately, I don't know if you know anybody like this Memphis
Okay.
Jukin. Yeah. It's almost kind of like Chicago footworking,
It-
but instead of like a Chicago footworking, it was mainly like with
okay.
house music,
Okay.
sped up. Memphis Jukin is more like R&B, but with a distinct
Wait,
beat to it. So one particular artist that I've been checking for that, and also has great reels is Deuce.
I love Duke Dukes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's hilarious.
Okay,
Yeah.
Deuce, yeah. So he got a song called Buck.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Buck is good. What's my name? That's good too. But if I'm gonna, give a shout out to my hometown, Chicago, and then I would just say one of my favorite. I got several, but I'm okay. But okay, I put y'all on game. But you said about a song. I'm actually going to give you an app,
Okay.
and this is app. It's called
Okay.
Mixcloud, and on this app is no commercials. It's basically like a DJ app, so you can whatever genre, hip hop, R&B, trap, whatever. It helps if you know the DJ name, and it pulls down all their
Okay.
mixes. So basically, it's a mixtape app. So it just plays continuous mixes. I mean, like if you're at a barbecue, if you cleaning your house, whatever, something you want to play on your Bluetooth,
You said
it's
Mix
continue. No, you
Cloud.
ain't gotta worry about like
Okay.
Mixcloud, yeah, you don't have to worry about commercials or whatever, interrupting
Right,
your
right.
groove or whatever. It is straight continue, and you can play it back or whatever and stuff like that. So yeah, Mixcloud is the app. I swear by it. My cousin, he's a DJ in Chicago, and he turned
Okay.
me on to it, and it's also better than Spotify, better than all
Okay.
that. So yeah,
Give me
it's
one
all
more
good.
song though. Give
But
me one
actually,
more song.
give you a song. Okay. Um, Okay, it's a group called Black
Okay. I
Coffee.
love black coffee. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Song called Superman.
Okay.
Yep,
Superman by Black Coffee. Okay.
yep,
I feel that.
yep. And Duke's Buck.
Okay. All right.
Yep. So
All
it's
right,
about two
cool.
songs.
So what I got for y'all, for listeners. Okay. I'm gonna go with Mountain Mississippi Queen. Everyone knows that song. Look it up. It's a good song. It's a good song. It's a good vibe. It's like rock. It's
Okay.
like I want to say like
Oh,
70s
really?
70s
Okay.
rock type type vibe. Also,
Okay.
let me put up the other song, Future FNN.
Okay. Yeah. I'm
I
familiar with
love
that
that
one. Okay.
song. That's an underrated Future album. I want to say that's the Wizard, but that's a few. I mean, that's a great underrated album, and I just love the beat break of that song, where it just switches up,
Okay.
where it goes F and it. Like once it hits that little change, I mean,
Yeah.
I just love that shit. So yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
check it out. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna check it out.
Listeners, once
Okay.
again, go to
Good.
Spotify, look it up. The Life and Times playlist. It's got some good songs so far because all of my guests always put on some really good music. So check it out. Be sure to check it out. So Phil, we're at the end of the podcast, man. How do you feel? You feel good? You feel
Man, this is great. No, this is actually great. I like, talking about business and small businesses, entrepreneurs,
for
black
sure?
businesses, and as, of course getting my name out there, the
Hell
more the
yeah.
merrier, because I'm constantly there, even though I usually be home during daytime, but I'm constantly like I said, I'm doing bookings and everything if I'm not on daddy duty. Of course, my daughter over here on the tablet, but yeah, I like it. Of course, I appreciate the invite. You know, um,
Your
we go way,
family,
way, way,
man.
way
Yeah,
back. We go
yeah.
back
We go
almost
way back.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
20 years. Yeah. The stories, we can't talk about on here, but we got
We could
we
put it
got
behind a
stories. So,
paywall, man. We could put it. People got to pay.
yeah,
to hear some of those stories and
Yeah.
experiences. But yeah,
Right. The premium podcast. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, 'cause, they ain't call me the house party king for nothing.
Man. Uh, uh,
Yeah, but
all
no,
right.
this is great.
Good,
This is
good.
great.
Well, Phil, once again, before we end this, let the people know where they can find you and, what services you provide.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, once again, my name is Phil, owner with Shaken Not Stirred. I am listed on Thumbtack. Like I said, you can see my whole profile on there, my reviews. I have albums on there where you can see pictures. I like to, put all myself there, so they speak for themselves. I'm on Yelp. My Instagram is at Shaken Not Stirred LLC. Like I said, it's the one with the little
Mm-hmm.
green stripe and says Shaken Not Stirred down the middle with the martini glass. I used to have my other one with my hand showing it, but I got hacked, so don't pay that no mind. I know that some if you see shaken dot whatever, don't tap that one. But I recently got my original name
Yeah,
back,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm proud to say that. So yeah, so it's Shaken Not Stirred LLC on Instagram and on Thumbtack and Yelp. And I specialize in everything. Now I'm doing, basically private weddings, birthdays, bar mitzvahs, whatever. I do reality shows. I'm everywhere.
Nice.
Seriously. I do it. Like I said, I have a couple of corporate contracts and stuff like that, and yeah, just hit me up if you need me,
That's
I'm
awesome.
listed.
That's awesome,
I
man.
am definitely listed. So yeah, any and everywhere, anytime. And if I can't do it personally, I got quality people. So you'll be in the
Nice,
best hands.
nice. Yeah, man. I'm happy for you. I'm, I feel weird saying I'm proud of you, but we gotta show love to each other. So I'm proud of you, man. You're doing your
Yeah, I
thing.
appreciate it, man. Hey, man, listen, I'm proud of you doing
Thank you,
your
bro.
podcast,
Thank you.
and this it takes a lot, to be able to talk to different people and come up with the right questions to invoke conversation and giving people what they want to hear and stuff like that, and it's very informative, so you keep doing what you're
Thank you,
doing. I
bro.
like it.
Thank you. Listeners, be sure to follow us at Suplex Dinner Club. That's home of two of hopefully your new favorite podcasts. Mondays, we talk college football on Dogs versus All Y'all, where we don't just talk about the two-time defending national champion Georgia Bulldogs. We talk all things college football, hence All Y'all. And on Wednesdays, you already know the vibes. It's cool conversations with some really cool and interesting people that have worked in hospitality with the Life and Times podcast. So thank you again for checking us out. Be sure to share the podcast, all that good stuff, and have a wonderful week. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Get down and get a little bit of it on. Name it, we'll claim it. Like one rich man told another and said he had enough money to build a fence around the world 3 foot tall. Another man told him he had the money to buy it if he built it. So any wrestler want to come out with a few dirty tricks. If they want to get down that way, it's quite all right, When you go to church, anybody might shout. You don't know what old good sister or brother might shout. But any wrestler that steps in that ring, he just stand a chance to get whooped. No horse has been too tough that he couldn't be rode. No brunk's been too tough that he couldn't be sold. So what I'm saying, I've had a few knots put on my head, but I guarantee you I've passed that more knots than I've received. And for IWA, as Mr. Patterson said, the fans are in for a treat. It's going to be Brother Patterson and Brother Ladd.
Hold up. You know what it is. Now listen, that's called my bars. You know nothing about that. Put him on the camera. Facts.